It's hard to believe that it's come down to one game left in the season, and as you get to that point, it's the last game here at Bud Walton Arena this year, and play against a Georgia team that's really trending up. They're playing real well. I think they won the last 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 6, and that's playing without the big kid, Mateen. So that means that they got some other guys that are really stepping up for them. And you start off with J.J. Frazier. I mean, his numbers have been unbelievable, 31, 28, 29 points. He's kind of putting them on their back. But you also got a guy like Parker who's playing well for them. And they got some other guys, the Edwards kids, playing well. So it's a team that they want to play mid-tempo. They want the game to be in the 60s and 70s. And of course, we want to be up in the 70s, the 80s, the high 80s, as a matter of fact. But it's a senior game as well. And with senior games, we've got 3 tremendous young men who are, one with Dusty Hannes. And for you guys that know, I just started actually saying his name right. I used to call him Hannah, Dusty Hannah, and now he's earned my respect in terms of calling him Hannes now. So he's got that, but it's his senior year, and I'm sure these guys have done an outstanding job this year on and off the floor. So when you talk about Dusty, and then you talk about Moses Kingsley coming here as a freshman, and just to see the maturity to where he is, where he's. After his junior year, he's selected as being the preseason player of the year in the league. That's development. That's a development. And I think not only he's developed on the floor, but off the floor as well. I mean, he's been representing us in the SAC, which is the student government. I mean, he's been representing the SEC in the SAC program, getting ready to graduate in the fall. What more can you ask? A guy that's kind of developed on and off the floor and been a big ambassador for our basketball team, and he's a big part of what we do. Manuel Watkins, it's amazing because I've seen Manuel when he was like in the 8th, was in Missouri, and just to see him come and develop into a young man. I was talking to his dad today. I said, isn't it amazing? This guy's 21 years old, and not too long ago he was getting ready to make a decision to go to Missouri State, and within a blink of an eye, next thing you know, I want to play for the Razorbacks, and I'm glad he did. And these guys have been, to me, great leaders for our program, and I think the young men that are coming in, we have 7 new guys to come in, and when you got the seniors and the guys that are Trey Thompson, Anton Beer, you got to mesh a lot of things together, and what makes it the process a whole lot, not necessarily easier, but better, is to have guys like that, guys who are willing, who are about the team and not about themselves. And I think that speaks high volume of the guys that are returning, and those guys coming in, number one, buying into what we're trying to do. So, but there'll be a lot of emotion, but we got to get through the emotion because it's a big game for a lot of reasons. We're playing for something, Georgia's playing for something. So it's the last game on our schedule, and we want to finish up the home stand on a positive note.
Mac, I guess you just maybe we're talking about each guy's career. What would you say about each senior, kind of what they meant to the program?
Well, when you look at Dusty, he transferred in. He had a chance to sit out the year we went to the tournament, and so he got a chance to go against Madden and be around Bobby and all those guys. And so obviously I think he learned something through the process of coming over here, coming from Texas Tech, kid that wanted to be at Arkansas from the day one. And yet he get a chance to go somewhere and then come back here, and I thought he threw his heart and soul into what we were doing. He came here as just a shooter, and we've seen him really develop to be an outstanding player, putting the ball on the floor. I don't know where people get the notion to say he's not athletic. He's very athletic, and he's shown that. So it's just I don't know how people kind of confuse that, but to see him go out and really come and impact our program, that says a lot about Dusty Hannes, a guy that wanted to be here. He's already graduated. He's taking some classes right now to continue his education. So it just I can't say enough, a character guy. He's a character kid. He loves the Razorbacks through and through. I was at practice the other day, and I walk out to practice, and I think we're getting ready to go watch some film, and here come a guy that kind of looks like him a little bit, and it's Hunter Henry. And he came through our practice, and, hey, coach, out there shooting some hoops with Dusty. And that's the kind of guy Dusty is. He knows no strangers. Manuel Watkins, as I said, the coach's son, and he's like a coach out on the floor. He's one of those guys I can say, he's like my defensive captain. I tell him we want to do something, he goes and does it. And you look at his progression from his freshman year, didn't play much, his sophomore year a little bit more. All of a sudden now, his junior year, he's doing a lot of good things for us last year. Started some games, and then of course this year he's kind of expanded on his game. He put some time in on shooting the basketball, and now he's a threat out there on the floor. He's really, really important. He's an energy guy, and he's a glue guy, and I think he's developed through the course of a year. And that's the thing that me as a coach, you're proud of. You guys develop not only on the floor but off the floor as well. He's very involved in the community services, and I think when you guys talk to him, he's probably the leading spokesman for our basketball team. Moses Kinsley, what can you say? When the guy first came in here, of course, he and Bobby like brothers. They joined at the hip. He played behind Bobby in that role behind him, and for 2 years he just kind of worked, and to me helped groom Bobby. Helped groom our other big guys in practice each and every day until it was his time. And his time was he had an outstanding junior year, and that prompted people to select him as preseason player of the year. And the thing about last year, Moses, the things he did, he had to do that for our team because of the numbers, the sheer numbers that we didn't have. And this year he got more help. And so his numbers may not be as high as they were last year, but he's still having the same impact, and we saw it even last night in the Florida game. I thought that was more of the Moses that we are used to seeing, and hopefully as we move forward, that's what we'll see. But Moses is a guy that's, again, I think things have slowed down for him. You think about earlier when he was talking to you guys, it was sometimes, I'm sure for you guys, hard to understand because it was for me. But as time has gone on and he's gotten more comfortable, things have slowed down for him, and I think that's how you see the game. The game it slows down for you, and so these guys you're talking about, they got a chance to have a special year going out this senior year.
Have you ever been around a senior class that improved as much from the day they got here till now as these three?
Well, for where these guys come from, because these guys, a lot of times you're going to have at least one or two of those guys that are going to be in the mix early on. They're going to be in the mix early on, maybe whether starting or playing, some starter minutes. And these guys, they were, especially the two with Manuel and Moses, they were just playing meaningful minutes is what it was. And but I think through practice and going against guys each and every day, being part of a winning team, I think that helped push them. And they continue to work. And I love it because they're gym rats. They put time in. So to see them develop on and off the floor, I think that's what our program has always been about. So, but when you talk about the drastic improvement, and look at a guy like Dusty Hannahs. He don't look anything like he was when he was at Texas Tech. We even got him trying to play some defense now, and so I'm proud to see what they're doing, but I don't think they're through playing yet.
Coach, when you look at Dusty, who came in as just a shooter like you mentioned, how hard is it for a guy like that who's so good at that to change his game and become something else?
Well, I think it's been a work in progress, and you've seen that. As a coach, you try to put guys in position where they can have success. And there were times when I started him, I didn't start him, I brought him on, brought him off. Early in his career, he was our leading scorer coming off the bench, and I probably should have kept it like that. Then I put him in the starting lineup, and obviously he became a target out there. And then you look at this year as well. With the bringing in some better players. Now, obviously, he's got to step his game up, and to his credit, I think the offseason was tremendous for him. He had a chance to go off and play on one of those little foreign tour teams, and to his credit, he worked on the ball handling, worked on the shot off the dribble. As I say, he tried to become even a better defensive player, and so he became more than not just a shooter. He knew how to draw fouls. So to his credit, I think he put the time in, and he's raised his game up.
You
talked all year about the sense of urgency, starting quick. How do you prevent your guys from getting too amped up for a game a lot of people think you may have to win to get into the NCAA tournament?
I don't think we just lost a game. I mean, we've been on we had a string of 6, 7 games. I don't know what it was. And so I think we're hungry. So I think the word of sense of urgency has already kicked in. I saw it even last night, playing against a Florida team that, they were playing for a lot as well. They were playing on a lot of emotion. And you could see every loose ball it seemed like they got at the beginning of the game. But as the game went on, I thought you saw us fighting and scratching and clawing and giving ourselves a chance. So I think our guys they'll come ready to play. I have no problem with that. They already, I think this team has been battle tested. We've been down that road before, where it's too amped up now. I think we'll be ready to play.
Mike, when you look at Frazier, I mean, he's averaging, I think, 38 minutes. He was playing a lot of minutes anyway, but he's really playing a lot now, and he's scoring at a high level. What all makes him such a good scorer? And do you feel like maybe you guys can wear him down when he's having to play almost 40 minutes?
Well, I hope that's the case, but they've got some other guys that Mark has been throwing in and out. Coach Fox has been throwing in and out, giving him some breathers, using the timeouts. And in those, like I say, he's averaging almost 30 points a game. If he's playing 36, 38 minutes, that's almost a point a minute. He's that dangerous because he can shoot the basketball. He's really, really quick with the basketball. He gets to the foul line a lot, but he can get to that basket, and they put him in space. And so we've got to make sure we got to shorten that space for him and make him a passer to other guys and keep this team off the board. It's a very athletic team, but he's just a gift for scoring. I mean, he's quick. He can shoot it from deep. I mean, Dusty has range. J.J. Frazier has range, but he's got another gear in terms of attacking with that basketball, going right, left, and he can finish at the rim.
A few more guys, go ahead, dude.
The emotion of senior day, how do you keep the other guys to continue playing their roles and not try to feed the seniors and make sure they go out how they want to go out?
Well, it's going to be emotion. I think that's part of it. But as I always told the guys throughout the year, the emotion can only last for so long. Then you got to go play basketball. Let's do what we do in practice. Let's take our practice to the game. And so that's going to be the message to these guys. Let's just take our practice to the game.
Regardless if you guys win or lose on Saturday, that you've earned a bid to the NCAA tournament?
Say it again now.
Do you guys think, regardless if you win or lose on Saturday, that you've earned a bid to the NCAA tournament?
My thought is on this game right here. That's all. Because after this game here, we go to another season. And as we get to that season, the SEC tournament, that's where the automatic bid will come from. So whoever wins that tournament. So our focus is entirely on what's take place in the Georgia game. It's an opportunity for our fans to see some seniors and this group as a team play together in this building. So it's the last regular season game, and we want to go out on the bank. So that's our entire focus. And then once that season's over with, we start another one. It's 0-0. Everybody's undefeated, and that's our mindset right now.
Anything else?
Manny, or Melvin being Manny's dad, it's a little different having a coach who's going through senior day, and also as Moses, I know he's got a brother in Little Rock. Is he going to have some family in from Nigeria, or who all is going to be here for Moses?
Well, I think he has some people coming in that they've been a part of his life. So his brother probably would be with him in terms of Moses, and of course Melvin. I had the chance to do that at Missouri a few years ago with Michael Jr., my son, and so it's interesting. It's very, very interesting, especially when you're a coach. But there's a lot of pride that goes in that. Mama comes out, the family comes out, his family's coming in town. So I'm sure it's a big day for Manuel. Just not too long ago, Manuel was playing in a state tournament for Fayetteville High School, and here he is at senior day and playing at the University of Arkansas. It's big for he and his family, and all that. All three of these guys, like I said, they're graduating. So I'm sure that there will be a lot of emotion, in that family in terms of what has transpired with Manuel, and I think, to me, the best part about all these kids, they're first class citizen, and that's to me is the biggest part of it. When they leave here, they're going to be good people out there, and hopefully make this world a better place.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.